we're starting actually one of the most important chapters in Tanya. It's called Perek Lamed Bet. It's the heart of the Tanya, the 32 chapter Tanya. It's actually a lot of, in Chabad, it's customary to learn it by heart. It teaches you to come to, speaks about Avas Yisrael, loving a fellow Jew, which is a fundamental concept in Yiddishkeit in general, Hasidus in particular. So chapter 32, Thursday, the 23rd of Adar Aleph, overview of chapter 32. 32 in Gematria, Lev, heart, meaning the 32nd chapter is the heart of Tanya. Its central theme being the mitzvah of Avas Yisrael. It speaks about loving fellow Jew, love of one's fellow Jew. Indeed, a central theme in all of Torah. In the previous chapter, the Alter Rebbe's advice to one who is bitterly remorseful of the lowliness of one's body and animal-like soul is the meditation that notwithstanding that state, one possesses a divine soul which is literally a part of God. So we learned before that through crushing the evil inclination, crushing the sitra achra, crushing the animalistic soul, through bitterness, and what is protecting us from depression? It says you have to remind yourself that you have a divine soul. The body is lowly, but one possesses a divine soul which is literally part of God. So by focusing on liberating the spirit within, meaning you have a neshama, you have a godly soul, and you're thinking about the two, you have an animalistic and godly soul. Which one is more important? Obviously the godly soul, the eternal soul. And you're saying to yourself, how can I treat my godly soul? How can you treat it? You allow it to express itself, right? How do we allow it to express itself? By learning Torah, doing mitzvot, by praying. We learned that the godly soul is reuniting and connecting with its source. So during that time, the time of learning, you're giving it freedom. You're releasing it back to its source. And the joy in one's godly connection, one can rise above all sadness and celebrate one's connection with Hashem. So that gives us joy to know that at these times we are connecting with Hashem. Yes. So now we will discover how taking that transcendent approach is also the key to truly achieving Avas Yisrael. Now it also helps us to truly achieve Avas Yisrael, love of one's fellow. For one is focused on the commonality of the soul connection above the divisiveness of body-related causes. The unity and oneness that results is indeed all of Torah, the rest being commentary. Like Hillel said, if you have Avas Yisrael is the most important, the rest is commentary, right? Mm-hmm. In today's lesson, when one realizes that it is not the physical body that is of most importance, rather it is his spirit, one can easily achieve a love for his fellow Jew. If you have a strong love to your body, it's difficult to love someone else because you love yourself. But if you love your spirit more than your body, then you can love someone else. You can love another Jew.
Deep. Yeah.
In the previous chapter, the Alter Rebbe taught that when one is bitterly remorseful over his sorry spiritual state, so he's feeling bad but because of his spiritual state, he must strive for joy by considering the following. True, on account of his body and his animal soul, if you, from the perspective of godly, from the perspective of the body and the animalistic soul, he is utterly remote from godliness. Yet, he has within him a divine soul, vertebly a part of God. This soul, in exile within the body, the soul is stuck in the body, being in exile, being imprisoned by the body and the animal soul, is to be greatly pitied. You have to feel pity for it. You have to feel bad for the soul. One should therefore strive constantly to release it from the exile. If you know that someone close to you is in jail, it just needs a few $100,000 to get him out of jail. So you'll do a FundMe and do a campaign, and if you didn't do it in 1 day, in 2 days, in 1 week, you get him out of jail. It's important for you. You feel bad for him, right? Pity. You're pitying him. He says the same thing about the soul. You know that your soul is in prison, and by feeling bad for it, you'll do something actively to help it to get out of prison, to get out of this exile. One should therefore strive constantly, so it should be on your mind, to constantly to release it from the exile and to return it to its divine source. Through engaging in the Torah and the mitzvot, such a return will bring one great joy, the joy of freedom. That's why it says, Ein lecha ben chorin, you don't have a free person. Who is a free person? The one who studies Torah. Because he's truly free at the time of learning Torah. The knowledge that the body and the animal soul remain in their unfortunate state should not disturb one's joy on account of his divine soul. It's two different things. So the fact that you know that the body and the animal soul remain the way they are, not going to change, right? They're the same way in their unfortunate state, should not disturb one's joy on account of his divine soul. It's like when you have something that is not very exciting and happy in your life, and on the other hand you have other things that are very exciting in your life. So why should one take away from the other? There's time for this and time for that. For the soul should be infinitely more precious in one's eyes. והנה על ידי קיום הדברים ונזכרם לעיל, לסגופו נבזה ונימוס בינו, רק שמחו סתיים שמחס הנפש לבדו. Acting on the advice mentioned above, to view one's body with scorn and contempt, and to find a joy in the joy of the soul alone. So number one is gufu nivze v'nimus be'eino. The body is despicable, disgraceful in his eyes. So why should he be joyful? Simchas hanefesh levado. To find joy in the joy of the soul alone. That is a direct and easy path toward fulfilling the mitzvah. You shall love your fellow as yourself. With regard to every Jew, both great and small in spiritual stature. That's the Tanya of today.